Hello and welcome to It's All Relative. It's me, Relly. All right, let's do it. Here it is. Dun, 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 dun. Real Housewives of OC. It's been 20 years, baby. I was locked in. I watched the first season. You hear me? Yes, I did. So we start out. Vicky is down in the Mexico with Shannon, and they are freaking frat and they're doing their thing, and they just seem to like to be silly together, and I love that. Vicky has always said that she has loved Mexico, so I'm glad that she bought a place in Mexico and seems to be doing all right, and finally got a man that actually seemed like he liked her. Great, wonderful, awesome. I love this for her. She's trying to get citizenship, I guess. I don't know how I felt about her telling them, like, I'll pay you later. When's she gonna come back and pay them people? But she's apparently a regular, so that's so awesome. Okay, great and wonderful. Now, really, there just is a little bit going on, right? So we see Heather interacting with her mom, and Heather's looking for some sort of emotional connection, and her mom is not interested in giving it. And I imagine that that's kind of how it was in her growing up, which maybe that's why Heather's very much hands-on, really into what her kids are doing, and whatever it is that they're doing, she just wants to like be into it. And I love that. So, okay, fine. We got a new potential housewife, Carmela. Carmela said, I'm scrappy, bitch. I'm from Cleveland. I'm like, oh, all right, let me see what Cleveland got. I'm ready to see what is the goings on. Now we get to, and y'all know, and if you don't know, you finna find out. Me and Tamara got beef. Okay, I have beef with Tamara, but I have beef with Tamara not accepting and not taking accountability. Like, that just drives me crazy. So here we go. Heather is having Gina and Tamara over to the silk shop. And I was like, oh, this is cute. That was cute. I did enjoy that, how they were making the silk scarves. It was cute. So now they sit down and now they're going to talk about it. Okay, here it goes. Tamara, they explain it. So I'm trying to like get it together so I could come back and get real clear about it. Tamara says, well, Shannon said some things that I didn't like. And, I'm just tired of Shannon's stuff. And I said that she's a mess, that she can't get a man, and she ain't even got no house. And they give the flashback to what Shannon says happened. And Shannon says, the question comes up, why can't I just move on? And to which she said, let me see now what she has said. Uh-oh, is this another page, child? Okay, yes. And she says, sorry about this. She says she doesn't, not wanting to be seen as people that, okay. Oh, that's where we start off. I'm sorry. It starts off, I was on my wrong note. I apologize. Come on, come back. I'm a work in progress, okay? It's not going to be perfect. We'll get there. We actually start off with Gina and Heather saying to Tamara, bowing down to Tamara, oh, Tamara, why would you put us in the bucket of people that don't care about you? Wait a minute now. Gina, you stay with a bone, and you stay wanting to be a stickler for people being honest and accepting accountability. When we last ended from the episode, it was cut to all of y'all sitting in the room being like, the only person that could have known was Tamara. Y'all accused Tamara of feeding the blogs, and 1 + 1 definitely equaled 2. Okay, not 17. Their math was not, it was mathing. There was nothing missing. All right, boom. So y'all over here, don't put us in there. You can care about somebody and you can also hold them accountable. Those two things can be done at the same time, like simultaneously. And somehow in the OC, y'all are unable to do that. And it drives me crazy. Okay. All right. So now Tamara with the woe is me, and y'all just eating it up. Oh, Tamara, please like us. Please take us out of a bucket. So what? Tamara put y'all in a bucket of people that don't care about her, and she ain't go, clearly it ain't gonna kill her. It ain't the first time she been there. What are we talking about? And so that's when they asked, and Shannon now is recounting what happened at the Quiet Woman, the Quiet Lady, Quiet Woman, Quiet Woman, right? Quiet Woman. I'm gonna go with that. And why can't you move on? Why do you have this inability to move on? And Shannon says, I got nothing to say. right? But that sets off old crazy bat Tamra. And Tamra, because Tamra, what I realized, just likes the flunky. And she's decided that Shannon is to be her flunky. And so she works overtime. Do y'all not remember last season? All she did was, how can I make up with Shannon? I just want to make up with Shannon. How come Shannon won't make up with me? I really love her. I miss her. Blah, blah, blah. And Shannon still was like, I don't really trust you, kid. Like, keep it over there. And so now there was nothing else for Shannon to say except for, I have nothing to say. Somehow that sets Tamra off. And then Tamra comes with insults. And so that's when Shannon lost this. Shannon should have lost it. Shannon should have lost it on her ass many more times ago. Tamra deserves for Shannon to give her a little pow pow. And y'all know I don't believe in the pow pows, but she deserves a little pow pow from Shannon. I swear, oh gosh, she does. So Shannon then says she went off and she was like, actually, you're the drunk and you're a mess. I don't know that I would call. I don't know if she's a drunk. Mama can't talk about that, but I can say she is a mess. Evidenced by the fact that she has all of these fractured relationships. And so again, Gina, you stay with the, I'm going to bring it straight to them. And you do not do that with Tamra. And I don't like it. So I got beef with you. And we already know that Heather ain't never going to really confront Tamra. But I already told y'all, she ain't really going to confront Tamra because Tamra going to come with the receipts. Oh, and you're the one that said, and you said, and da-da-da-da. And Heather really don't like no smoke. Heather can't deal with no smoke. When there look like it's a little bit of smoke in there in that kitchen, Heather is out. She's like, oh no, she pulls a Tamar. My man got plenty of money and I don't need this. And she bounced. So there we go. And so here go Tamra. Well, it's over. That's just between Shannon and I. Nah, cut that out. That's not, especially when Heather's saying that people were mortified. The wives were mortified that you behaved that way. And it's just so interesting that you can just, brush that off. You gave Gretchen, you stayed on Gretchen's neck last season, stayed on her neck. That's right. Gretchen ain't back. I know Gretchen was like, nah, I'm not doing this, especially when they accused her of being like anti-gay. And that's the other part. Heather, you jumped so far on your high horse against Gretchen. Meanwhile, is Tamra out here again being an absolute menace in the streets, and that's okay. Heather, cut. Ooh, Heather. And so then Gina with you're probably not going to get the apology you're looking for. Shannon has not been terrible to Tamra. It has been consistently, if we go back through all these 20 years, however long they've been on together, it has consistently been Tamra that has been wild and reckless about Shannon. And even when Shannon was going through her struggles and I'm just so tired of Shannon calling me and, it being one way, she's a drunk and she's a this and she's a that. There were so many other ways for you to handle Shannon and you mishandled her. And then you would go, well, it's just that I get so upset because of how she behaves. That's not a friend. That's not a true friend. That's you looking for a goddamn flunky. And I don't know how they're not over it, but baby, I am over you. So now here we go about Heather and her issues with her mom. Talked about that. So we've got Carmela, scrappy Carmela from Cleveland. And I'm into her. She was a Playboy playmate. Yeah, girl, get your coinage. I like the dark hair and that she's like, because it seems like that's what we got. We either got dark hair or we have blondes, and we don't have any redheads. There's nothing real spicy going on. I'd love to see that. Carmela, what else you got? I love Shannon. Shannon is such a mess. I love her. She's eccentric, right? I do love that. So her getting dressed in the car or outside the car, I'm like, Lord Shannon, I love you, doll. So we got that going on. I'm trying to get these lights together, baby. It's hot in here. What else? Oh, I loved seeing Nikki in hospitality. He is a chip off the old block. I love that. I love how Heather really tries to support her children in whatever it is that they're doing. So that's great. Heather does know how to throw a party. I need to take lessons. I also don't have the money that Heather has to be able to throw a party, but Heather throws some phenomenal parties and she's awesome for that. So now Jen and Jen and Shannon are on the phone, and Shannon says, yeah, it's a little frustrating that Heather is one way when Tamara isn't around and another way when Tamara is around. And she explicitly said, and I'm not saying nothing. So Jen, you said, you did right. You validated Shannon to let her know she's not crazy. What I don't appreciate, baby, the last like 10 minutes of the show is where everything got a little wonky and a little crazy. And I had to like intently like pay attention to what was going on. So now Jen comes and she's talking to Gina and she's like, well, Shannon is a little upset with Heather. She didn't necessarily say that she was upset. She said she noticed. So use your words and choose them, appropriately. She said that she noticed that she's one way or another. And she says she's frustrated. Frustrated isn't necessarily upset, it's frustrated. But Shannon says she wasn't touching it with a 10-foot pole. And here you come now talking to Gina. And Gina's like, well, if Shannon, and you made it seem like Shannon called you bitching. So this is how the telephone goes. And now my girl Shannon is out in the wild. She don't know what all's going on and how it's gonna come to her. And if y'all come for Shannon, I'm gonna get y'all, because Shannon has done so much work to really work on herself, and she for her life has been to hell and back. And y'all messing with her, she lonely. Like, cut this out. So now, Jen, you approach Gina, and Gina's like, well, if Shannon got something to say, she should say it. Well, why you didn't tell her that Shannon said she wasn't gonna say it? And Jen, I like you. And I liked you because you were on the side of what was right. And you didn't seem to get caught up in who likes me, who doesn't like me. You were just on some, this is the right thing, this is not the right thing. And you did what was right. And you stood on what was right. And you called what was right out. And you called what was wrong, wrong. So it's interesting now that I'm seeing you in this light, because you're real wishy-washy, and I don't know how I feel about this. So we got to see how the season progresses with you. And so then they call Heather over, and Heather says, no, I did talk to her. I did tell her, that it was embarrassing. So Gina with the, yeah, she did say it. But I don't trust Gina, because Gina, you want to be in with Tamara, and why I still don't know. Okay, so there's that. And again, this is where now telephone is taking place, and I don't like it, because Heather now is thinking that Shannon has a problem with her, and Shannon doesn't necessarily have more of a problem than anybody else has with her, right? So now there's that. So I'm like, oh Lord. And then when, what's her name, Tamara walks over to Vicky, and she's like, yeah, the girls are upset. Gina and Heather are upset that we're friends. That ain't nothing but Tamara trying to rally, people on her side. So she's just trying to get Vicky swept up in her stuff and on her side. And I don't like it. And Vicky is problematic, and I wish they hadn't brought Vicky back. I'm being honest. I don't think that Vicky adds anything. All Vicky does is validate old Tamara over there, and I want to see Tamara on her own stand in her stuff. And it looks like we're not going to see that. Okay, fine. So then, but I am loving this season that they are calling, like they're bringing up and back, calling back things that people have said in the blogs and the whatnot. So Heather's like, well, I got a problem with Vicky because she's saying that we inherited all of our money. And I get from Heather's perspective that would be insulting. And insulting to Terry, and how hard Terry works and how hard Heather has worked to flip their houses and do the things. And so in the clip, someone apparently is trying to call Vicky out and saying, it is distasteful to see people resent one another for their wealth. And so she's like, I don't know that I resent anyone. She's like, what did she say? But she doesn't pay attention to how they have built, have, or inherited what they have. And Vicky, you know better. So that inherited business, why would you say that? That was a dig at them and what it is that they have. And so that's your jealousy showing up and flaring. And we do know that you are jealous of other people. And that's why you feel like you need to have people revere you as someone who started the franchise. And so in the clip, when Carmella apparently is, chin checking Vicky, which I'm sure Vicky was deserving of. And she was like, you're the new girl. Oh, Vicky, I don't like new girls. And that's exactly the problem. Vicky, you ain't been on in a month of damn years, and now you don't like new girls. Who are you to not like a new girl? Because essentially you're new to Carmela. So what are we talking about here? Cut this out. Cut this out. And so Carmela says everything has an expiration date. Yes, Cleveland. But I don't think that I'm gonna like how the other girls treat Carmela, because they want this hierarchical way of being, and I don't like it. That's not real, and that's not what makes the show good. That everybody, oh, well, Vicky's coming and you can't go against Vicky. Cut that out, because there has to be right and there has to be wrong. So now we're in the end, and this is where it starts to get super duper messy, like I said. So now, what is it? Jen says, Heather, and that's the thing. Nobody's really saying to Heather, hey, Heather, remember that dinner that we were at? You were the one leading the charge on talking about Tamra, and then you called Tamra. So it made us question what's really going on, and giving her the opportunity to have conversation about it and discuss it, because there can be a thing, right? Like, I don't like the way someone does that. If you've said that to their face, then all of that is valid. But if you have not said that to their face, then when you call to check in, that's what you're supposed to say. I understand that maybe your feelings are hurt or whatever the case may be, but it's also okay to say, and when you did ... I had a problem with. But the truth is, we know that I think Heather's just conflict avoidant, number one, evidenced by the way that she approached Vicky. So then Tamra and Vicky are talking. They call Heather over. Heather goes over, and Vicky says, what's this? Why you got a problem with my friendship with Tamra? And that's not, I don't think that is what was really happening. But again, it's the way that Tamra has manipulated the situation. And then Heather says, well, actually, I have a problem with you. And they did it in such a joking manner that I think both of them feel like, oh, I got it off my chest. I think for Heather, she's conflict avoidant and doesn't like to face it head on, because I don't think that she likes being disliked. And for Vicky, I think that Vicky really ain't about that life, and she really don't say what needs to be said because she's afraid of having real discourse. I think that she really doesn't like to have the back and forth. I don't think she does well. She starts that yelling business, and then that's it, because she really can't hang. And I think it was a snide comment, and she should just own that it was snide. And that's the problem. Nobody just owning what's really going on. So I think two conflict avoidant people having playful banter and feeling like, whoo, we cleared that up. Y'all ain't clear shit up. So now Jen comes up to Tamra and says, well, when you're not around, Heather says that she puts you in a box. Jen, I think that that's great for you to have said that, but I think that you needed to have Heather standing there. And I think that would have been the better way. Perhaps if you really felt that way, why didn't you call about a lunch? Y'all love to go to lunch. Call a lunch and say, excuse me, at this dinner, blah, blah, blah. Because you did that with, what was her name? I think it was Katie. I think you did that with Katie last season. There was a lot more confrontation, and not confrontation in bad confrontation, just putting it out on the table. So the fact then Heather's like, well, what'd you say? And she says, well, I just told her that, when she's not around, there's conversation that happens when she's not there. And Heather's like, so you said I said it? And Jen goes, well, everyone. No, Jen, you were supposed to stand in and say, yes, that's what I said. And so now everybody is afraid of what Tamra's gonna do. And that is what has got me by, my eyebrows. Excuse y'all. Why are you so worried? And I get before, for Heather, I get why you're worried, because I believe she gonna tell all the things that you done said about the people, and that's gonna put you on the out. So I understand that. But Jen, I don't understand, because you've already been to bat with Tamra. You already had the fight. So I don't understand why you're not being honest about the issue that you're having. That's what I'm confused about. I'm very confused right now. So we see that Tamara's not going to be held accountable, seemingly ever. And it seems like this talk about the blogs just went away. Nobody's even talking about this. So, because I don't understand why y'all want her back. You know what? When something is missing, that's because something's missing. Something's missing. I don't know what that thing is, but the math right now is not mathing. Y'all have gone so much harder at other people for far less than this. And yet everybody is just, oh, we're so worried about what Tamara's going to say. Something's missing. I just got that. Something's missing. Do y'all know what's missing? Because I don't know what's missing yet, but something's missing. And I hope that it comes out. But it looks like there's going to be beef with Heather. It looks like Heather's going to be on the outs. It looks like Carmela's going to be on the outs. Is it going to be brunettes versus the blondes? Like, what is this? Is it newbies? Like, I don't know. Versus the old heads. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I could tell you I'm already not liking it. I'm not liking it. I'm not. And Shane and, oh God, what is Gina's best friend? Emily. Whew, I just went blank for a minute. Looks like there's trouble in paradise with Shane and Emily. I'm interested to see how this plays out. I have some suspicions. I'm wondering if Emily thought Shane was just the best that she could do. And now that she feels so much better in her skin about her weight and how she looks, is she now like, fuck Shane? Because Shane was a prick long ago. And she definitely was like, that is my husband. When, what's the hothead that was there? She's long gone. She had the daughter Jolie. I can see her face, but I can't think of her name. When she was talking about Shane being a dick and how she basically cussed him out. And Emily was like, wait, now that was my husband you calling a dick. But your husband's a dick. So this is all very interesting. So I hate to see dissolutions of marriage, and I hope that they're able to figure it out. But so much also. Oh, Heather, when she talked about Gina's ring, the cattiness of it all. I mean, I did see some, whatever it is, she said that she saw like reflections or something to say that the ring wasn't real. And also, y'all cut that out. If ever I was to get engaged, I hope you all know I absolutely want a lab-grown diamond. I do not want a real diamond. For what? They're pennies on the dollar. And the way that they are mined is absolutely terrible for the people that are in there doing the mining. So I don't want that. No, thank you very much. Give me a moissanite, please. What else? That were some other cutesy things. I don't remember. So that has been the Real Housewives of OC episode 1. Child, I hope that I can contain myself. I hope that my head does not explode from wanting to just scream at Tamara. And I don't even know now, honestly, and I gotta rethink this for myself. I don't even know if I'm more upset with Tamara as I am with everybody else for putting up with this really bad behavior, right? Like, Tamara's a spoiled child and she has temper tantrums, and everybody seems to want to acquiesce to the temper tantrum, and I don't know why. So I think maybe that's more of my frustration. Again, something's missing. So we'll have to figure out what that is. I don't know. Let's go on this ride. Y'all ready? 20 years. How long have you guys been watching the Real Housewives of OC? Like, because, right, it was OC, then it was Atlanta. So that means Atlanta's going to be coming up on their 20-year too. And I ain't even going to tell you who I hope they don't bring back to Atlanta for their 20-year reunion, if there's still a Real Housewives franchise then. But another story for another day. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.